Karen.
And I'm Jackie. We're the Carnivore Twins.
Thanks for joining us. We have a special little segment right now. We want to thank our friends right here on the screen that helped Jackie and I's relationship start and bloom
And flourish.
to be what this is today. So starting off, we have to give a shout out to Kelly Hogan. Wave your hand in case somebody doesn't know.
Who?
Bella, wave your hand. Steak and butter gal.
Hi.
And then Dr. Lisa.
Carnivore Doctor. Yeah.
Doctor's in the house. But let's start off with Kelly. Kelly asked Jackie and I and two other women to preview her My Zero Carb Life YouTube videos before they went live to everybody. And we're like, you're going to ask us? You want us? We're like, what? So I said, Jeff, Kelly Hogan, who he knows all you guys, asked me to look at her YouTube videos. Jackie, what happened?
I said the same thing. I'm like, oh, Scott, look, I just got a message from the Kelly Hogan. Oh my gosh. I was so like, I'm like little, how does she even know who I am? I'm amazing. So amazing.
And we asked Kelly last summer when we met her in New Jersey, July of 21. We asked her, we said, Kelly, why'd you pick us? Kelly, what's your answer on that?
I don't remember what I told you in New Jersey, but the real reason I picked y'all is I trusted you. You were helpful and friends and nice, and sometimes I spell things wrong. And I just needed somebody to watch and be like, oh no. Now it turns out, I'll be honest, you two are not my best spell checkers.
Oh, Elizabeth is.
You both know Elizabeth Stern will catch any mistake that has ever been made, and she will call me out on it. And you two are like, I love it. It's great. And then sometimes you'll have a suggestion about something. You're very helpful. You're just not the most ruthless, is all I'm saying. But I'm so glad that I asked for y'all's help, because you've been tremendously helpful. Plus, there's a whole YouTube channel now from you two. So that's pretty incredible. Yeah.
Look what's happened. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Well, we are honored to be a part of your team on your board of Kelly Hogan team. And we love being on, and thank you very much for that. Honor to be able to see that. So sometimes I'm like, oh, so-and-so, you're going to love this video coming out. It's about blah, blah. Kelly's putting out, you're going to love it. Actually, they mentioned you in it. They mentioned you.
Oh,
anyway,
like the hype. You're the hype. And I love that. Thank you.
The hype.
After a whole year of watching Kelly Hogan videos, I was just floored to even be asked to be. It's such an honor, Kelly, for that. And look at what's happened since then. It's just I didn't even know anything about anything. I'm like, yes, I'm all in. I want to do it. Whatever you need, I'll do it.
I chose wisely. I love you two so much, and I'm really thankful to be here on this video. Thank you, guys. I love your friendship, and I love you both. All of you, Bella.
Yeah.
Lisa, I love y'all so much.
When we first started this channel, we said, I would love to have Kelly, Bella, and Lisa on.
From the very beginning.
Aww.
Yeah, we're finally doing it, Karen. We're finally doing it.
Yeah.
Yay.
So tell them, Karen, what happened next after. I mean, we didn't even really get to know each other even at that point.
So we
were both on Kelly's, screening team. We still didn't really know each other.
We had a Facebook chat going on, and the Carnivore News. You give us the link on that and stuff. And then Jackie, what did you ask Kelly?
Okay, so I remember it was the pandemic, and we were all shut down. And Kelly, you were doing these like best news.
Oh yeah, good news.
Good news.
Yeah.
Like what? So because when you turn on the TV, all you get was bad news. So you had all these good news where you were highlighting people that had success eating carnivore, and actually you had a couple of them already, and I think you did. And then I said, what if we were like the man on the street, like roving reporters for you, Kelly? Yes. And so I suggest that, and I was like, oh my gosh, she said yes. So you gave us a script. Like I did it, Karen did it, and Elizabeth,
the spell.
Yeah,
just the three of us. We each had a person that we talked about, and I was like all like nervous and serious. Yeah. And Karen,
I had a microphone.
she had a microphone,
Yes.
a whisk microphone. And I was like, you know, really serious. And you go, lighten up, Jackie. And then here comes Karen. She's all full of, and you actually stopped her at one point. But anyway, that time when we were doing those videos, that's when Karen and I really started to talk to each other. It was from that engagement.
We would just talk to you, and you would ask us stuff. We just talked to you, Kelly, and then Jackie and I started talking. We talked off of your chat. Yeah, we chatted.
Right.
Jackie's the one that initiated this friendship. She did.
Oh.
So then, you know, we're talking about life, and we have so much in common. That's where we got the twins part. But I said, I'm in the steak and butter gang. I said, I was one of the original 10. Bella asked for people to be in the group. Hey, type something up. And I typed something up, and she picked me. I'm like, so it was really cool. It was 2 weeks, and we met, I think, twice a week. And you had a one-on-one Zoom with Bella for an hour. I thought it was so cool. I sent you that screenshot too, Bella. So it was a picture of Bella and I, and for an hour. So the first 10 minutes, we talked about carnivore. The rest 50 minutes, we talked about life. I mean, I remember that so much. It was so much. We didn't talk about carnivore that much.
Karen, and you gave me such amazing relationship and life advice. I really thought you were a good friend. Just in that one-on-one call, I felt your heart. I felt your kindness, your care. And that's how I fell in love with you. And I mean, come on, who doesn't love Karen Miles' energy? She's pretty much famous by now in the carnivore community for her fantastic energy and amazing vibes. So thank you for being my friend, Karen. And Jackie, you were one of the first in the challenges. I just loved hearing your updates. You were seriously an inspiration to everyone in the beginning when we were just like the smallest group ever. So I'm just so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You know, I didn't know anything about you until Kelly Hogan did the egg pudding video on one of her. So I'm like, steak and butter. Yeah, who's this? So I looked at your egg pudding video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And you had this like segment where you did the cooking, but you speeded it up. So it was like really, I mean, it was so cute. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And right at that same time, Karen told me about this new Mighty Networks thing that you're doing and these Zoom groups. And so Karen sent me the link, and I have had technology problems. So she's trying to help me understand how to use the Mighty Networks. And this is how I joined. And I was in the March. So Karen was in the February pilot group.
December,
and then February. And then I joined in March, and many other people that got invited as well. But it was like such a game changer for my carnivore life, because I had only been carnivore for a year, and it was like it brought things to the next level. It was so amazing. I never even knew how to use Zoom. I didn't know how to mute. I didn't know how to do the chat. I didn't know anything. That I learned that from you, all that from you.
Wow. Thank you, Jackie.
And I don't know if you remember, but I asked you how to edit how to do videos and stuff. I mean, I learned a lot from you in those Zoom meetings, but also the friendships. And I just felt really super like I had a group, a family, a tribe, as they say, or my people, you know. Loved it. And I was so thankful for Karen. And that's when in that Zoom, we really became really good friends in those Zooms every week. I think
we've gotten to be really good friends with a lot of those pioneers, OGs, as Bella likes to say it, the originals. And we talk, we have a little chat going with a handful of them, double handful, and great ladies. And a lot of those ladies, the next part of it is when Dr. Lisa, she was going to have this meetup in Jersey, and Bella was living in New York at that time. Like, you got to come, Bella. Oh, yeah, I'll come. I mentioned something to Kelly. She's like, well, can I come? I'm like, heck yeah. So talking to Jackie about it, I'm like, oh my gosh. We were in a little chat and we're talking about it. And maybe it was in Bella's Zoom, maybe. Kelly, Jackie, do you remember? I don't know.
At first I only told you. I said, I'm just going to surprise everybody. I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't even shut up about it. We were so
excited. No. And then like a bunch of our friends came from Minnesota, Wisconsin, Tennessee. It was awesome. And Lisa, thank you because you brought Jackie and I together. If you didn't have that meetup, I don't know if we would have met yet. I mean, I don't know. I'm in Illinois. Where do you live, Jackie?
Washington State.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Washington.
West
Right.
Coast.
Karen, you have to remember back before, you're talking about the meetup that was the second annual Northeast meetup, right?
Right.
Where everybody was flying out and coming out. But remember the first annual Northeast meetup, you actually missed because your 2-week annual trip to your brother's was after when I had my meetup. And then you got in touch with me and said, oh my gosh, I'm here from this date to this date. We ended up meeting up to go for a walk. And then I had a meetup just for you at the restaurant the following week that I gathered. I don't know, we had like
eight of us
people at a restaurant.
It was the heart of COVID though. So, you know.
Yeah, it was an outdoor seating.
Italian restaurant, the biggest pork chops I've seen. Lisa, you keep on saying you had your other first one, but I say, I joke and say the one that I was there was the first annual.
Well, you were at 1A. You were at the 1.5. You were at 1.5.
Okay.
I made a meetup for you, Karen. Come on, cut me a break. Give me credit.
She's the meetup queen.
Oh, you get credit, buddy.
How many meetups have you had now, Lisa? So many.
22. Well, yeah, 22 that most of them I've hosted myself, but the first few were Charles Washington's. And Kelly, do you remember the first one I hosted at my home in New Jersey was when you were visiting your in-laws. And I said, oh my gosh, that's 5 minutes away. This was back in 2010.
Was it January or December?
It was December of 2009.
Yes. Yeah. 9. I wasn't sure if it was before or after the first day of the new year, but yes. I'll never forget that one. It was my first meetup ever. I had only done Total Carnivore at that point for like 3 months.
Right.
So I started in October. I met all of you guys, and then I told my husband, I was like, so some of my new carnivore friends are having a party. And he's like, are you going? Are they going to kill you?
No.
He didn't know you guys. It was just some internet people. I'm like, I'm going to their house, and he didn't know who a Dr. Lisa was at that point. Yeah, and it was a pretty good sized meetup to be at your house.
If you remember, that was back on the Zeroing In on Health forum, the little forum that Charles Washington had just on the internet. This was before Facebook and all. And we wrote in each other's journals, right? And we read each other's journals. It was interesting. Do you kind of remember how that was? Like,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we kept our own journals, but anybody could read them, and you could add and write in anybody else's. So
correct.
Once you were talking about coming to New Jersey on a trip, and probably something like, handling the food at your in-laws or something. And I go, where in New Jersey? And lo and behold, it was literally 5 minutes down the road from, it was like the next town over. So I wrote in your journal, I said, you have to come join me for a steak. And then other people were reading it. Next thing I know, I had 13 people.
Yeah. It felt like more because, I don't know, it was a little overwhelming. We'd never met in person.
Yeah, we were all in my kitchen, and people brought food, and I had big rib roasts cooking, and that was
fun.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That's awesome. That's
you like to cook in your house.
So long ago.
We all cooked in your house.
Yeah,
2009. 2009.
The biggest thing I'm disappointed that we didn't do at that meetup in July of 2021. We didn't take a picture of the 5 of us. We don't have one.
That's a goal. That's a goal we're going to have forever until it happens. So we want to do it. Yeah, we have a picture of the 3 of you, but not all 5 of us. Which
we have a group picture.
This has always been here because you guys are the originals. You're the ones that brought us together. And I just want to have a toast. I don't know if you have anything to drink over there.
We didn't plan the toast.
I got club soda here and lime.
Water.
I don't have a cup. Should I go get one?
Just pretend.
Okay, pretending.
Yeah, I'll pretend in solidarity with you. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kelly.
I just want to say thank you so much for bringing us together and for being such wonderful friends and leaders and helping so many people, but especially me and Karen. I mean, we just will never have the ability to say thank you enough for all that you've done for us. We love you guys.
Yeah, love you guys.
Love
You know
you.
what? This is all really emphasizing the importance of community and the groups and being able to have like true, genuine connections, especially because this is, I don't care what anybody says and how big this is starting to get. We're still flying our freak flag. I'm still in a restaurant and getting the bug eye, like, wait, you just want the meat on the plate? I'm like, yeah, just the meat on the plate,
Right.
and so it's just really, really great to be able to talk. And, the three of us all run our groups, and it's powerful. And we all know just from our own experiences that just getting people together and sharing their experience, and then these people relating to that, and then having a question about this, and then this one gets their question answered. And it's just like a big, great feeling of community. And that's, I always say, community is the opposite of addiction, and addiction loves isolation. It really does. It's so easy just to isolate. And, for any of us who have been in the binge eating arena, we know exactly what that means. Kind of hoarding food sometimes, hiding wrappers, doing things that you wouldn't want to do in front of somebody. And that's why I feel like, if we keep getting people together in a group and feeling the support and being able to join in conversations about even what I just talked about, the weird stuff that we do and did, and then having somebody else go, oh my gosh, I did that too. Mm-hmm. And, it's just so important, because as human beings, we really need to be in touch. We really need to communicate, and we need to be connected. And that's where I think so many things go wrong when we are isolated and feeling. I have so many people come into the group and say, I don't have anybody to talk to. My family thinks I'm nuts. My friends think I'm nuts. My coworkers, they just keep rolling their eyes. And it's like, for the first time, and you probably, you guys probably all felt the same thing. And I did, and Kelly did, when we found Charles's group. And all of a sudden we're in there. This is 13 years ago. And we're in there and I was like, oh my gosh. It wasn't at that point that I was carnivore and thinking, wow, these are my people. They know me. It was more like discovering this, like, wow, I can do this, and I can be healthy, and I can cure myself of my cravings and my binge eating. And so Kelly, you were already over your binge eating because you had that history prior to that of going low carb, thankfully for that wonderful doctor you had. But, for me, it was I just had ongoing struggles of in and out of trying to figure out, what to do. And I've been through every diet. I did the cabbage soup diet, and I did the Atkins, and it all works so well and good until, well, all of a sudden you're face down in the ditch again. And it was just so important to feel that there was just others who walked your walk and knew your struggles, really.
You say that, Dr. Lisa, when I found that group, I was almost done. I was at my wit's end, not because it wasn't working, but first of all, the pressure of how long are you going to do this? Is this safe? Is this healthy? It was really getting to me. And that's how I found that group, was typing in the Google search, is it safe to only eat meat? Because it was really getting in my head. And the first thing that popped up was zeroing in on health. And at that point, I went home from work that day. I was at school on my lunch break when I typed that in. I was giddy, like floating on air. I couldn't believe, not only like, I was expecting to find, oh no, it's not healthy, you're going to die, you have to eat vegetables, it's never been done. And instead, I found people who were excited, and they looked good, and they were thriving. And I remember seeing your pictures, Lisa, and it was like,
oh, that's right. We did have pictures in there too, right?
So many pictures. These journals were hundreds of pages. So there was a Kelly Hogan journal, and it was hundreds of pages, and everybody would comment. It's not that I wrote hundreds of pages. I would write, and then people would comment. Lisa had her own journal, and I would go look at it, and we'd posted pictures. I remember seeing this ab picture of you, Lisa, with your shirt pulled up. So
Yeah,
cute.
that was with Charles. That was with Charles. See, so the month before you came into the group, September of 2009 was my very first meetup I went to, because Charles he always would run his half marathons and host a meetup in whatever city he was in. And it happened to be Philadelphia. And that was my moment of telling my husband, like, yeah, I'm going to Philly to have dinner, but first I'm picking up this other woman who lives down in South Jersey, who's also in the group, who I don't know. And I was like, okay. Yeah. But so, yeah, that was, driving to Philly to meet Charles. I think there was 20 people at that meetup, and he and I, because at that point you get to know people, but you really do make honest, real, true connections. And part of it is because of the ability to either FaceTime or Zoom. We weren't doing Zoom back then, anything like that. It was all kind of writing. So I think, and pictures. But just to be able to meet him in person, because he was kind of like the guru, who we looked up to, because he was like, he was leading the way. And it just was so really important to, after I went to that first meetup and walked away from it feeling just so indescribably, incredibly empowered. And I don't know, Bella, did you feel the same way walking away from the meetup that you came to mine with?
So fun.
Meetup, right?
Like, honestly, I'm just sitting here listening to you guys speak about, how this all came to be, how you guys met. And I cannot help but feel so incredibly grateful, because I would not be here today without you, Kelly, and you, Lisa, sharing your story and putting yourselves out there. Like, you two are literally the OGs. You were talking about your gurus back in the day. You two are literally my role models. Like, I cannot believe this moment right now. And at the same time, I have friends like Karen and Jackie who I've built these carnivore memories with. So yes, of course, when I was at that meetup, my very first meetup at your place, Lisa, it was one of the most memorable trips and experience I've ever had the pleasure to experience of my life.
Take a lot of new trips, Bella.
Wow. I usually, it really just impacted me so much to see my idols in person speak, feel so confident, and just express how great carnivore is. It really just made it real for me in that moment. Like, finally, it was something that's real and something that people actually thrive on and connect on. It was a huge moment for me. So again, I cannot thank you, Kelly and Lisa, enough for your hard work, the efforts that you put into the community. It is why I am here today. I can never thank you guys enough. And Karen, Jackie, I love you guys so much.
I love you guys.
Thanks, Bella. And you know what I think?
Meetup coming in July next year.
Yeah, July 7/22. So now I plan my meetups around Kelly's schedule and Karen's schedule. It is July 22nd.
I was just gonna look. 22nd.
Yeah.
That's
what I want to say about you guys, of course. I'm going to talk about these guys, Jackie. Lisa, I call you the meetup queen, and I've had meetups because I was so inspired by going to your meetup in July of 21. I didn't even wait a couple months later, and I had one in Peoria, Illinois, and then I had one in Chicago this summer, and I had one in Beloit, Wisconsin this fall. Those are my three big ones. I have a couple dinner parties. I have one coming up in 2 weeks in Chicago where there's like 12 or 13 of us. I didn't put it all out there because that's just, we're going to the city and walking around. And we don't want to have 40 people walking around the city. I've been like 12 or 13 of us, but we're going to the city and we're taking trains from hours away. We're all like 2 hours away. We're all converging from Wisconsin, Southern Illinois, Western Illinois, and who knows where else. But you're the meetup queen, and Lisa, Thank you. And Jackie's had them too. Bella, you told me ages ago, you should do a YouTube channel. You should do a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Jackie, yep. And so you inspired me to do that. And with Jackie's help,
It's
she's
scary.
She's the manpower. And Kelly, you're the last one I got to talk about. You inspired me to put myself out there on Instagram and to, be a voice. And I'm older. I'm 63, and you're old babes. At least you're not too far behind me, but you're in phenomenal shape.
She's
But
way
anyway,
beyond
it's
us.
good to get all the ages and all that stuff. And that's why you three mean the world to me. And Jackie, of course, you mean the world to me too. Thank you for being my friend.
You're gonna give Lisa a run for the money on that meetup queen stuff, huh?
Yeah, that's right. You can take over mine.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank you, all three of you, for joining us tonight, and we just honor you and want you in our lives forever.
Oh, thanks,
I
guys.
love all of you. Thanks for having us,
you guys.
Jackie.
I love you
You're
guys
great.
so much.
Love you
Thank you so
guys.
much.